Hi, it's Brandy back with another project for hashtag lovefallart. I am sticking with my birthday theme and we are doing a monster party, so this project today is a little monster bag. I'm going to use it as a goodie bag, so let's get started. Alright, so you're going to need 3 sheets of 8.5 by 11, but this will make 2 goodie bags. So we're going to start with the first sheet. We're going to make the front panel of our goodie bag. So you're going to take it on the 11.5 inch side, and you're going to cut it at 5.5. 2 fronts. We're going to set those off to the side. The other 2, you're going to cut them into a square, so they will be 8.5 by 8.5. So on the 11.5 inch side, you're going to cut it down to 8.5. But don't throw this away because we're going to do another project with the leftovers to add into the goodie bag tomorrow. So we're going to do the other one. 8.5. Let me set those aside. Alright. I'm going to take one set of goodie bags, so a large sheet and a small sheet, and we're going to start with that. Okay. And we're going to grab our scoreboard. Okay. So, starting with the small one, we are going to, on the 8.5 inch side, we're going to score it at 2 inches. Okay? On the 5.5 inch side, we're going to score it at 1/2 inch and 5. So you're going to have 1/2 inch, 5, and on the 8.5 side, you're going to have it at 2. Then on the 8.5 square, the first time you're going to score it at 2. Then you're going to rotate it so the 2 is at the bottom, and you're going to score it at 1 inch. But you're not going to score it all the way to the bottom. You're just going to score it to that first score line we made. Then you're going to score it at 2 all the way to the bottom. And then you're going to score it at 6.5 all the way to the bottom. And then you're going to score it at 7.5 to the score line. Okay? So let's go over that again. Scored at 1 inch to the score line. Scored at 2 inches all the way to the bottom. Scored at 6.5 all the way to the bottom. Scored at 7.5 to the score line. Okay? I'll take those out of our way. On the smaller piece, there's these 2 little corners. We're going to cut those corners out. So we're going to trim up on our score line, and then I just come in with a little angle, and it just gets rid of some of the bulk. So we chip that out, up on the score line, and trim that out. So now you're left with this. Okay. On the other one, we're going to leave these squares in. We're just going to cut out a little tiny sliver so that it folds nicely along each side of, I just come up on each side of the score mark for you. Let me show you it again. Coming up on the one side of the score mark, on the other side of the score mark, and just cutting out a little sliver. It just makes it fold nicer and gets rid of that bulk that's in that crease. So you're left with that. Now this is where I put on my face, just because I find it easier when it's flat. So I'm going to put my face on the smaller piece because I can clearly see where my front panel is going to be. To make my face, I'm going to use several circles. All of these circles are cut from this Sizzix die. It's the Circles number 2 die. I have a 2.5 inch circle, a 2 inch circle, a 1.5 inch circle, another 1.5 inch circle, and an inch circle. Okay. So the 2 inch circle I'm going to use to make the face, and I'm just going to take my paper trimmer, you can just do whatever. It's a 2.5 inch circle, so I'm just going to chop it down in half at 1 1/4. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. Set that off to the side, and I have a little part of my face. And then I'm going to build my eyes. And I'm just going to use my Zig 2-way glue pen, and I'm just going to toss on a little glue. I make a mess with regular liquid glue, so I avoid it whenever I can. So I'm pretty sure that's user error, not glue error. I'm a hot glue girl with some HEG. Okay, so I need some teeth for my face. So I'm going to take this strip. It just happens to be a 3/4 inch strip. I'm just going to make a little square out of it. So I'm going to put it at 3/4 of an inch. Drop it. And then I'm going to take this square and I'm going to cut it corner to corner. It's a square, so you can cut any two corners that are across from each other. I'm going to toss on a little glue from my glue pen. I'm just going to put my teeth in. Look how cute he's looking. Not bad for a couple. Okay. Now I'm going to glue him to the front of my bag. Scribble on some glue. And you can do two the same size eyes, two opposite size eyes. I don't know, I was making a little wonky face. Changing it up a little bit because I made two of the same eye faces on my invitations, which I did in a previous video, which you can check out on my channel. Alright, so we've got that done. Now I want to make my holes for my strings to go in. So I'm just going to use my pokey tool. I'm sure there's a more perfect name or more appropriate name for it. This happens to be the Tim Holtz one. I'm going to use my Tim Holtz roller and I'm just going to line it up. And I'm going to grab my pencil. I use a mechanical pencil with this so I can push out my tip really far. And then I just line it up and I'm going to put a hole about 1.5 inches in on each side. So about there. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just about the same. Whatever you think looks good, whatever you want. And so I don't have to redo my measurements. I'm going to line my two up. I'm going to line up the two score lines and I'm just going to poke straight through. Quick and easy. No fuss, no muss. Okay. So now we can start assembling. So on this large piece, I just turned it to the side so that my 2-inch score is down here. And then I'm going to fold it over once. And then I'm just going to kind of halfway crease that 1-inch fold and kind of fold up my little top. It's just going to give me my gussets for my bag. And then I'm going to fold the other side up and then fold that 1/2-inch gusset kind of back. And then I'm just going to use my little flap. And I'm going to fold my flap and fold my flap and fold my flap. Okay. I'm going to use score tape in the video just because it's quick and easy and I'm not likely to burn myself with it. On my actual goodie bags that I made for my birthday party, I used hot glue because it's cheap and it's quick. And it doesn't make as much mess as liquid glue. So I just put just a little bit of adhesive on these flaps here. Okay. I'll fold. And now our bag is going to start coming together. So pull off all of my backing paper, which takes forever. You know when I'm not on camera, it doesn't fight me. Alright, I'm just going to line this edge up with that score line and fold it over. Line it up again on the score, like right where that score line is, and fold it over. And it would help if it was straight. Cool. Alright. And on the other one, I'm going to flip it over so it's on the inside of the bag. I'm going to fold my flap. Fold my flap. I'm going to fold this flap up as well so it's got a good crease. I'm going to put score tape along these two short sides. If I can find the end of my score tape. Score tape on this flap. Boom. Score tape on this flap. And then I'm going to put score tape on the inside of this flap, so right here, because it's going to go on the outside of my bag. So it covers up the other two flaps. Okay, press my score tape down. I'm just going to pull off all the backing paper now. Make a giant mess. Okay. So on the bottom you have this like little gap here. I'm going to cover it up with the other 2-inch flap. I'm just going to line it up as best I can on there. So, yeah, there we are. Okay. And then I'm going to fold in my sides. So, here. And then, again, lining up my edges. and you have a little goodie bag. All we need to add is the little string. I just have some really, like, it's just a pile of twine. So I'm just going to cut a couple of pieces of twine. I'm just going to fold it in half. Yeah, they're probably about 6-7 inches. It's really not perfect or exact. I'm going to feed it through my holes. Tie a little knot. You know, exciting watching people tying knots. And feed it through. And the other side, tie another knot. Okay, one's done, and then I'm going to pre-tie this knot so I can thread it through. Pre-tie the knot, and then thread it through the back side. I like this twine because I don't even know where I got it from, to be honest with you, because it's like super thin and it doesn't fray too much, but it looks nice. And then feed it back through the other side. Oh, I gotta smushed it. I smushed my end. You could use ribbon, you could use baker's twine, you could use pretty much anything you want. You could just leave the handles off. Now you're all done. You have a little cute little goodie bag, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. You can change the size if you want. Just remember where you're scoring it is where like what the width of your bag is going to be, and then for my gussets I just divided my width in half. So I had a 2-inch width, so I just scored it in half at 1 inch. But if you wanted a 4-inch wide bag, you could just score it at 2. You'll just have to use a larger sheet of paper. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Tomorrow we'll be making a cute little gift, a party gift for the kids with the scraps left over from the goodie bags. Thanks for watching. Check out all the videos that are part of this series, and we'll put them in a playlist for you. Thanks, and have a great day.